I needed a light for my paver pathway. I could have just shopped online, but that's not how I roll. I started with an idea and my 3D printer brought it to life. Around here, that's just how I do projects. One concrete masterpiece at a time. It starts simple, just concrete in a mold. But what it becomes might surprise you. Here's how it went from the idea to 21 pounds of glowing concrete. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. Some Cementol cement mix, a scale to weigh it out, the water to Cementol ratio. You'll need a way to mix it. This drill mixer works really well. You'll need a mold, some mold release. After that's made, you'll need some sandpaper, some spot putty, some primer. If you like the stone paint job that I did, you need a base color and the top coat with this. Then you're going to need the light source, this G4 light. That should get you going, so let's get started with this project. Here's the cylinder design for this outdoor light that we came up with. Clean and simple. What's happening next now is we put a mold for the back, we put a mold in the front for the bottom, put a mold for the back top, a mold for the front top. Now we need a bottom cap mold. So there's 5 molds. Let's send this to the printer and we'll get going on this project. I love it when my digital creation comes to life in 3D. This 3D printer is amazing. I love these cool molds that it makes, and it's been busy, so we're gonna have some fun putting this together. The 3D printer has been busy. We're all pretty much ready to put together just a couple little things to do. So I have this cup that's gonna go here, and I need to put some inserts in it. This is gonna be like a removable slide out piece. Sometimes tooling gets a little tricky. We've got different ways to pull, and so I'm gonna put these they're knurled on the outside, little inserts. I'm gonna put one on each side, and then you take a modified tip soldering iron and you heat that thing up and sink it down in, just like that. Do that to the other side, sink it in. Okay, that'll work. So our next step, I like to use this canola oil for the mold release. So what we're gonna do, we take a spray, get a good layer on here. I take my foam brush and I just make sure it's all evenly distributed here. Got a nice good film everywhere, no puddles. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we'll do that to all the pieces and then we'll start putting it together. I'll see you then. We have mold release on all the mold surfaces, so now it's just putting things together. Put the 1/4-inch bolts through, and the bolts do 2 things. They squeeze the molds together, but they also register the alignment as well. So we'll put this all together, put the washers and nuts on the other side, and we'll get ready to pour. I have this removable section in place, bolts from the back. I ran some wire through there. Actually, I did that before I put it on there. I ran some wire through there about 6 inches, tied a little knot so it wouldn't slip out, and it's just kind of bundled up in that pocket. You'll see how that is. Then we'll pull this tight and put this through like so. The mold's mostly put together. I do have this end caps. I'm gonna put this on mid-pour. So I'm gonna make this in 2 mixes, fill it up halfway-ish, and then I'll fill it up almost to the end. I'm gonna put this cap on. There's a hole right here for the wire, so we're gonna push that in like that, and then pull the wire, and then squish that into the concrete, put some bolts on, then I'm gonna take a squeeze bottle and I'm gonna fill the rest of it up. Let me get this mostly filled up. I don't know, let's try about there, see how this looks. So we put the wire in here. I taped it up here so it wouldn't fall in the hole. So I put the wire through here, pull it tight, and ooh, I think we filled it really close to where I needed it to be, so that's good. A couple bolts on here so this doesn't float off. I'll finish bolting this after we put it all in. But this will just hold it in place for now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is pour into the squeeze bucket. That probably will do it. And we're just gonna top them off. Actually, it was really close. So what we'll do now is we'll just kind of tap it, get the, yeah, see it's sinking in that hole a little bit. So it's just getting dispersed a little bit better. It's really actually pretty close to the top. So just add a little bit more. Tap her again. Yeah, it's settling a bit, so we'll just keep doing that until it doesn't settle anymore. You know what, I'm gonna press down here. There we go. I'm putting some pressure down, squeezing, and it's coming up the other holes, so that's a good sign. Okay, that'll be good. And I wanted to just make sure that edge gets nice and filled out. So I think we're good. So what we'll do is I'll clean this up as it sets up, tighten these bolts down, and we'll pull it in a few hours, see how it looks. While the concrete sets up, a quick reminder, at Timber West Design, we custom build timber pergolas and pavilions, and we ship them anywhere in the continental US. These aren't prefabbed kits. Every structure is made to order and designed to match your space. Head over to timberwestdesign.com where you can set up a free consultation with me to design your ultimate outdoor space. It's been a few hours and it's starting to cool down a little bit, so let's start taking some of these bolts off. Just loosen everything here and let's just start undoing it all. I'm really anxious to see what this is going to look like. All the bolts are off, so what I'd like to do is just take a screwdriver and look like that's going to come off nice and easy. Let's pull that one off here. Well, there we go. Okay, oops, I got a little repair to do there. No big deal. All right, let's pop it back off here. And there's that one. The front one, there's that one. That looks good. Okay, let's get to the back here. That one's off. And it's coming, it's coming. There we go. Okay. Now I've got that insert to pull out. So I had to clean a little bit of concrete around this edge. It was kind of grabbing a little bit, so we're gonna just take some up. There we go. I'm just gonna, let's see, we're stuck on that. There we go. Okay, so there's our pocket. Looks good. We're gonna let this dry out for a day or so, and then we're coming to sand it and get it ready for primer. It's been a few days. This part's dried out enough that we can start sanding it. So one thing I want to address, I don't know if you remember when we pulled it, I had a little chunk break off right here. So what I did is I super glued it in, took my angle grinder, kind of blended it all in, and that's just going to be just fine. What we're going to do here now, we have some parting lines. So we can either take a block and just sand them in. And when it's a surface like this, a convex surface, the block works really well. When you've got inside surface like this concave surface, I just take a little section of sandpaper, fold it up, and then we can just kind of work in like that and get it nice and smooth. So mainly we just want to feel around, make sure there's no bumps or anything that's going to cause any problems before we prime, and we'll get to the priming booth soon. Okay, we're ready for the primer coat. So the key here is light coat. So we just want to go around this thing, cover it all, do a light first coat, and then once it flashes off, we'll come back and do a heavier second coat, and then let it flash off again. We'll do a heavy third coat again, kind of see how it looks. If it needs some more, I will put some more on there. If not, we'll let it dry and we'll go to the spot putty step. The primer's dry, so we have a little bit of flaws here and there where the parting line is mainly. I use this Bondo spot putty, take a glove, put some on my finger, and then just kind of spread it on the areas that need a little bit of attention. And I don't want to get it too thick, but just thick enough to fill in the voids. Now, give it a couple of hours. We'll hit this thing with 150 grit sandpaper, and depending on how it looks, I might prime it one more time. Otherwise, we'll go straight to top coat painting. So this next step is putting a base coat color down. The top coat needs a good base coat color, so we need to cover all of the primer and the spot putty so it's all a uniform brown color. Make sure we go around this thing. I'll probably put a couple of coats of this on. Just make sure we have good coverage and you cannot see any primer through the color. It's time for the first top coat layers. So what we're gonna do here is light coats. I want good even coverage, but I want to just go around it, not too heavy, just a little bit of coverage all the way around. Check it, make sure there's no light thin areas, and then we'll let it sit for about 30 to 60 minutes and I'll come back for the second coat. We're back for the second coat. What we're going to do here is similar to the first coat, just go through it and just make sure we got a nice even coverage. This doesn't take a ton of material to put on here, but just cover, make sure everything's got a good coat on it, and we'll let it dry overnight. Quality sleep is the foundation of our health. It influences how we think, feel, and perform. When we sleep well, we enjoy more energy and focus, stronger immune system, improved mood and mental clarity, greater resilience to stress. Imagine sleeping like a baby every night. Think what your life would be like if you could sleep deeper, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling fully refreshed and rejuvenated every day. With Newcom's proven sleep protocol, you can enjoy the best sleep of your life with ease. Paint job's all dry and done, and it sure looks good. I love this textured stone looking paint. So what our next step is, we've got the recess up here where the light's going to go to deal with next. So I've 3D printed this little receiver. It's going to go in there. It's going to hold the light fixture. It's going to have a lens that gets screwed on there like so. So what we're going to do next is try not to burn ourselves when we put hot glue on this thing. And we're going to put the wires through the hole and push that into place. Just like that. There. So this receiver is in place. So we're going to take these heat shrink tubes and slide them over the wire. So I've soldered both joints. Now it's just a matter of sliding the heat shrink tubing over the joints, and then we fire up the heat gun and shrink it on. So just kind of go back and forth a little bit. It's gonna just take a second and you'll see how it shrinks. It's pretty cool. Gives it a nice watertight seal. And there we go, it's starting to shrink and it's starting to get my hand hot. Almost there, a little bit more on this end. Yeah, I think we're there. Looking good. There's a slot in here that this G4 connector is going to get glued in. So I'm going to put some hot glue into that. I'm going to push this around and glue that in place to hold the light in position. And it's just too tight to do that on camera, so I'll do that off camera and I'll see you in a minute. Got the wiring all tucked in away. Next thing is I've got these pre-done holes and we're just going to screw this to position right here. All right, 3 more and we're getting closer to having this thing lit. The lens is all in position, so now it's time to focus on the bottom connection. So this is going to be a temporary, just for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use some wire nuts, but you can hardwire this. You could put the heat shrink tubing on it. You can run that wiring that has the clamp on connectors. There's a bunch of ways you can connect this depending on what your needs are. So for this particular demo version, we're just gonna wire nut, and we're getting close to having this thing fired up. We're all wired up. Let's plug it in. This is always exciting to see the product, to see how it works for the first time. So plug it in and there we go. Looking good. This will really shine when it's outside in the dark. So that will be our next step. I'll wait till dark tonight. We'll put it in the yard and let's see how it looks in the outside pathway. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. The light's just nice and subtle, very clean look, simple. I gotta make some more. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more cool ideas like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe. You can also head over to my website, timberwestdesign.com, and see some cool pavilions and pergolas that I can design for you. See you next time.